How are you, Taha?
I'm good, Patrick. How are you?
Very well, thank you. I feel so happy to be back in this place again
You're
after
always welcome.
I think about a fortnight, the last time that I was here.
You're always welcome.
Thank you,
You
Taha.
make this place glow when you're here.
Thank you, thank you,
It is not that quiet when you are here.
thank you. So happy to hear that. Now, tell us, Taha, what's been happening in Pakistan? I've read the news and I've got so much people, even one of the politicians in Malaysia, commenting about the Pakistani Prime Minister. He was really commenting about Imran Khan being brave enough to stand up to the motion of no confidence
Oh, yes.
from the other members of his parliament, while at the moment the Malaysian Prime Minister seems to be avoiding everyone and doesn't want to have any parliamentary sessions. Seems like he's avoiding parliamentary sessions.
So he's not attending any session in the parliament.
No, there's no parliament sessions in Malaysia now, and some member of parliaments have been sincerely crossing parties. And there's this thing now in Malaysia about the government, the prime minister's right or left hand man going to the other member of parliaments and trying to seduce them with big sums of money, hundreds of millions, for them to join the party. Now tell us a bit about what Imran Khan has
See,
done.
Even Imran Khan doesn't go much to the parliament, but his party is always there, and the parliament session goes on continuous basis. The only reason why he doesn't go to the parliament because opposition doesn't accept him at all. When he the first speech after becoming the prime minister, they should listen. It's his first speech. This is the first time he's become the prime minister. They should listen, but they didn't. They started shouting, and they on the first day they said the government has failed. So from there on, and it's not only saying something to his practices, Imran Khan, like how his government is performing. They goes after his life. What his life has to do with politics? What he's been doing when he was 21? What that thing has to do with the politics? But they start shouting, and if you are sincere and giving a speech, listening in the background such things, what you expect? So he doesn't come much, but the other people come. Now what has happened is a big game going on. It's like there are 11 political parties which are on opposition, which are in opposition, versus Imran Khan. 11 parties versus Imran Khan, and in that 11 parties, there are two parties which has been leading Pakistan for last 35 years, and this government is for the first year. Now what happened? You know the Senate election. Senate is the upper house where you finalize all the laws and this and that. So it depends. Previously, Imran Khan party was in minority. Majority was opposition. Now they had these elections. Technically, PTI, Imran Khan party, won most of the seats. But there was one election in Islamabad on which the media created a very big hype because it was between two big people in politics in Pakistan. One was ex Prime Minister Yusuf Raza Gilani, who was the People's Party candidate, and the other one is the Foreign Minister of it for PTI, Imran Khan. They fought the election, but there were other PTI members who won the elections. Now, in Senate, if you win 171 seats, you are in majority. If it's below, then you have to see what's the difference in opposition.
If it's below, you would have lost the confidence or vote of majority of the members of parliament.
Yes.
And rightly, you would have lost your opposition. Yes. As the government.
You know, in this case, what has happened? There were 50, I don't know the exact number. Let's take it 51. 51 PTI members won the election. I'll name one lady who got 174 votes, PTI, Imran Khan, in the Senate. So she won by majority. She was representing PTI. But the other fellow, the big one, the big seat with the match between ex prime minister and the finance minister, in this case, he got 164 votes, the PTI, and the PDM, the all opposition 11 party, they got 169. Imran Khan had all the rights not to go for no confidence thing because the other people they secured 174 votes, so it's majority. For example, I'm working under you. If I get 174 votes, you have the confidence in assembly, right? But because one member got less vote, and why he got less vote? Man, there are videos viral. The ex prime minister who was partying for this Senate seat, 2 days before his video was viral, what happened? He went to the PTI members, and PTI members were cunning. They had a secret camera here, and they made a video, and the video was out. And in a program, he accepted, yes, this video is mine, but I'm not saying which is something negative. He was talking about money. He was talking about how to waste your vote, just ruin the paper or make a shape or make something like that. But at the end, people were bought. PTI people were bought for only that specific seat. And 164 was the number
Right.
finance minister. Because of this, Imran Khan, there were people telling him not to go for this. And
Is this the first time that this has happened, or has it?
in Pakistan history, this is the first time.
Okay, all right. So
Which is good. Now the other part coming up on 13th or 14th of March, the Senate chairman election.
the Senate chairman election,
Yes.
which is in Malaysia equivalent to the speaker.
Speaker.
The speaker, yeah.
Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah. Isn't that position appointed by the prime minister
No. They have to go under the voting thing.
under the voting?
See, one is National Assembly,
Uh-huh.
and then there is the upper house.
Okay,
All right.
all right.
You're talking about the National Assembly kind of a thing, but there is a Senate. Speaker, Senate Speaker is the one. If the president is not in the country, he is the president.
Okay.
So there will be this election going on
Mhm.
13 or 14.
Mhm.
So Yusuf Azhar Gilani, the ex-prime minister, is the nominee, and from the other side, PTI is a person from Balochistan.
Okay.
Most probably, PTI is going to win because they have majority now.
Right.
But you never know. There are people who can, because voting is done privately. No one knows outside whom you voted for,
Right.
which is, I think, should not be so. It should be open. Everyone should see. Like,
So the votes are actually counted by we call him the speaker, correct?
no. In this case,
Mhm.
election commission.
The election commission. Okay.
But you know what? Election commission. If you have this office, there are 10 people working here,
Uh-huh.
and I've been looking after this office for last 30 years.
Uh-huh.
I have appointed 10 people in 10 different seats.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now that because of some problems, I have backed off, and you have come up. All right. But I want your place again. So all those 10 people who were hired by me will try to look after me
Mhm.
rather than looking after you. They will go against you.
Mhm.
So this is what's happening. Election commission,
Mhm.
everyone was hired by the opposition
Right.
before,
Okay.
and Imran Khan is facing
All
it.
right. Now I want to ask you a question, Taha. So it looks like, this recent one, standing up to this motion of no confidence issue, Imran Khan has got 178 votes out of 340, which shows that he's got the majority.
Yes.
He's got the support of the majority of the members of parliament. Uh, I don't know how the situation works in Pakistan, but I think if they want to make something a law, he needs to get the support of 2/3 majority of the parliament. Is that
Yes,
correct?
yes.
If they, for instance, they want to make a new law, say they want to make, for example, Taha to be the minister of the internal affairs minister, for instance, or whatever it is, or say everybody in Pakistan should have a minimum salary of US $1,000. So if 2/3 of the members of parliament approve to this, then it becomes the law.
Yes.
Is that the same situation in
Yes.
Pakistan?
That is the
So,
reason.
so do you think with the 178 members of parliament supporting the Prime Minister Imran Khan, do you think he's in a good position or a fairly weak position in terms of like implementing some of his projects or changes that he wants to do for the country?
You know, he hasn't won the election with majority, like 2/3. He's on the borderline. 5-7 members goes to the other side.
He will lose his majority.
That is the reason you won't be able to see big changes in rapid time. Because if the laws are not going to change, you won't be seeing any improvement.
Do you think this is something which is good or something which is not so good? Or has this always been the norm in Pakistan? Now, I'll tell you what's happening in Malaysia after this. But first tell me, from the time that the few previous ministers up to Nawaz Sharif, has he always enjoyed support from a big majority of members of parliament? Or has it always been very close?
This is the first time in Pakistan history we are seeing third party. Okay, so this is new for us.
All right.
Previously, whomsoever used to win, they used to win with
Big
majority.
majority. So I think this is something which gradually the world is moving towards this direction. Because even in Malaysia for years, 20 years ago and all that, the ruling party used to have 2/3 of majority of members of parliament. I remember at one stage there was something, and then at that time I think the ruling party had up to about 180 members of parliament supporting them, when the actual total number of parliamentarians or member of parliaments in Malaysia was only about 220. But now it's a very more keenly contested thing, because now there are more political parties. I'll give you an example, like a Prime Minister or ex-Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad. He was the Prime Minister for 22 years, from 1981 until 2003. So he was Prime Minister for 22 years. During that time, during his tenure in that period, he had the support of 2/3 of member of parliament. So anything that they wish to implement as law just went through that. And then he always had a history of fighting with his deputy prime ministers or the other prime ministers of Malaysia. And then he fought with the prime minister at that time, the year 2000, from 2010, 2011, 2012, disagreed on a lot of things. So what happened was, from that time onwards, that in the close to 2018, he started another political party by the name of Bersatu, which means unity in English. And they were in the former PH government until something like 2020, and then there was another split, and then he got there was fighting in his party. So as a result of that, I think he made certain things in his decisions in his party where it was not agreed upon by the president, who is now the current prime minister, and then he got removed So he started another political party. And having said that, one of his strong men who was representing the youth community in Malaysia, also started his own party.
Oh.
Also started his own party, and similarly, there's also another couple of new Malay parties. So from a big strong party, it's now splintered, and there are more smaller parties, and each one wants to be the leader of the party, and they're asking people to join their party. And the bigger party is saying that, oh, for years and in tradition, we have been the bigger party. You are just a splinter from our big party. You should be joining our party. So as a result of that, something which was once a big vote has now been okay. It's now
there won't be
broken
any
off
two-third
10%,
majority.
25%, 30%. Now there's no two-third majority. The total number of member of parliaments, it's currently sitting at 220. So the government has about 111, which is a simple majority. They only have like one or two.
Here and there.
Yeah, if these persons were to cross over, they would lose. That's why this thing is going now. Declaration of a state of emergency, and things have started going back to normal. Night markets have reopened, schools have reopened, but the parliament is still closed at this point in time. Tell us, what is your comment compared to Pakistan?
See new things happening. We have entered in 21st century, 2021. I'm 40. I haven't seen such things before. I've been in. I'm a student of political science. So I follow. I haven't seen such things. Neither what you're telling. It sounds very similar to Pakistan, but I don't know much about your prime minister. Yes, I knew about Mahathir Mohamad, but this prime minister, whatever I hear from you or from my friends, is something not good vibes coming into my brain about Malaysia. But as being a Pakistani, living here, but before living here as a Pakistani, we see Malaysia as a very developed and very good country in a way that they have developed a lot in last 20-30 years, where Pakistan has gone down. Pakistan was known to be Asian tiger in 1960s or 70s, but now we are lagging behind everyone. So for us, our leaders have been naming Mahathir Mohamad to follow him. Now what I see in last 5 years, ups and downs of Malaysia. Sometimes one day you wake up, you hear good things, and the other day you hear something very what do you say, Malaysia going backwards, which they should go forward. And they were setting an example by themselves. They haven't still gone back, but they are, it seems like, I wish, I pray that it should not happen, because we look Malaysia as just like us. We have same features, same understanding, culture, very similar. So we want Malaysia to, because not only this, in Pakistan, if we talk about tourism, we think of Malaysia to go there because it's everything like us, but very much developed. So if it goes down, we'll be like sad.
We all hope for the best, Taha. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Thank you very much, Taha.
Look after yourself, Pat.
Likewise. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
He goes